President Badia, Your Excellencies, Honorable Majority Leader, MP for Boko Central, Mahama Yarga, the Chief Executive and team of the African Prosperity Network. Let me thank you and your partners for the hard work you have put into making this third summit of the African Prosperity Dialogues a success. Ghana is proud to be the home of this important dialogue series, and it will continue to enjoy my utmost support to make subsequent summits even greater. It's therefore a great honor to stand before you today at this distinguished gathering of heads of states, policymakers, and business leaders, all united in the common vision of creating a prosperous and self-sufficient Africa. This conference is a testament to our collective commitment to unlocking Africa's full potential and ensuring that our continent takes its rightful place in the global economic system. The theme of African prosperity speaks directly to the aspirations of our people, an Africa that is industrialized, integrated, and inclusive. Our continent, Africa, is at a crossroads. On one hand, we boast of immense natural wealth, a youthful and dynamic population, and growing technological advancement. On the other hand, we continue to grapple with economic disparities, infrastructure deficits, and structural barriers that impede our forward movement. But the good news is that our destiny is in our own hands. The actions that we take today through decisive leadership and strategic partnerships will define the future of this dear continent of ours. One of the most transformative initiatives of our time is the African Continental Free Trade Area. It has the potential to create the largest free trade area in the world. And the African Continental Free Trade Area represents a game-changing opportunity for African businesses, entrepreneurs, and industries. However, trade liberalization in itself is not enough. We must invest in infrastructure to facilitate trade, efficient road, rail networks, ports, and digital connectivity. We must strengthen African supply chains to ensure that our industries produce goods and services that meet both regional and global standards. We must harmonize our trade policies to eliminate non-tariff barriers and reduce the cost of doing businesses across borders. We must fast-track the full operationalization of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System to facilitate the payment for goods and services across our continent. If we commit to these actions, we can unlock a $3.4 trillion market, creating jobs and prosperity for millions of Africans across this continent. We must move beyond being exporters of raw material to become producers of finished goods, whether it is cocoa in Ghana, oil in Nigeria, copper in Zambia, or diamonds in Botswana. We must process and add value to our natural resources. By so doing, we'll not only increase our share of global trade, but also create sustainable jobs for our people, especially our young people. We must indigenize ownership of our natural resources. There's capital and technology available to us today to increase our participation in the exploitation of our natural resources. Our governments must therefore work hand in hand with the private sector to drive industrialization through special economic zones that encourage manufacturing and innovation, access to finance for small and medium-sized enterprises, which are the backbone of our economies, investments in technical and vocational education to equip our youth with the skills needed for industries of the future. The fourth industrial revolution presents a golden opportunity for Africa to leapfrog traditional development models. We don't need to go back to inventing the wheel. Digital transformation can drive financial inclusion. It can improve public service delivery and create new opportunities for all our people. We must therefore expand internet access and digital infrastructure to bridge the digital divide. We must encourage fintech and e-commerce to facilitate trade and economic participation. We must invest in research and development to support our homegrown innovations. Technology indeed has the power to make Africa more competitive if we embrace it strategically. Prosperity cannot be achieved without good governance, transparency, and accountability. Investors and businesses thrive where there is stability, predictable policies, and the rule of law. Our youth are getting tired and frustrated at the lack of opportunity for realizing their dreams and aspirations. Our decision to embrace democratic governance was supposed to be accompanied by a dividend that will lead to improvement in the lives of our people and prosperity for all. Unfortunately, progress in this regard has been sluggish and largely intangible. If we are to maintain the faith and trust of our citizens in democratic and constitutional governance, we must accelerate our rates of economic growth, expand investment, and provide employment opportunities for our young people. As leaders, therefore, we must reaffirm our commitment to strengthening democratic institutions and ensuring free, fair, and transparent elections. We must fight corruption, which robs our nations of resources needed for development. And we must promote peace and security, as economic growth is impossible in times of conflict. It is therefore a call to action, this African Prosperity Dialogue, that Africa's time is now, and that the decisions we make at this dialogue must not end in resolutions alone, but we must act with urgency, determination, and a shared vision for our prosperity. Let us rise to this occasion and break down the barriers that divide us, and build an Africa that is strong, self-reliant, resilient, and globally competitive. As our first president of Ghana said, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and I quote, he said that the forces that unite us are intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. Let us embrace those forces that unite us and chart a new path for Africa's economic transformation. Long live African unity, and long live African prosperity. I thank you very much.